Welcome to Caveman Capital, where ancient logic solves modern finance. I am Og, your guide to survival in the wild world of money. Today, we have a massive story straight out of the high-stakes jungles of California. A true story of $1 million irrevocable trust, a completely hidden inventory list, and a ticking August 20 legal deadline. We have a family member trying to tear down a solid stone fortress, a fortress built by a father to protect the whole tribe. This is a deep tale of trust, power, and the absolute dangers of blindly signing papers without looking at the numbers. So, adjust your tracking, settle into your cave, and let's dive deep into how this family drama unfolds. Let's look at the baseline history of this estate setup. The story begins decades ago when the parents went through a massive divorce. Many years passed, and the father decided to protect his bloodline by creating a specific trust. This trust was originally written for the absolute benefit of his 4 children only. But later on, things changed. The father completely restated the trust document right before he and the mother decided to remarry. The mother was officially added to the document as a lifetime beneficiary. And the trust notes explicitly stated he was taking their remarriage into consideration. They remained married until he passed away exactly 1 year ago. Upon his death, that stone folder became completely unchangeable. It became an irrevocable trust under California law. Now, let's look at the exact rules the father carved into that stone trust. The document clearly provides the elderly mother, who is now in her late 80s, with a secure lifetime interest. She gets full legal access to the house, and she gets the support of the trust's entire financial asset pool. The trust does not restrict her to simple stock dividends or interest alone. She can use the principal if she needs it for her care, enjoyment, and maintenance. But the father added a crucial secondary shield for his children. He dictated that after the mother eventually passes away, every single remaining asset must be divided completely, equally among the 4 children. Furthermore, one of the brothers already lives in that house with the mother, helping her out every single day. The trust explicitly gave the specific brother the legal right to continue living in that residence indefinitely, for as long as he wants, provided he meets his basic maintenance obligations. The house is fully paid off, and the brother is not causing any financial burden to the rest of the tribe. It seems like a perfect, peaceful plan, right? Wrong. Suddenly, the dynamic in the home cave shifts completely. The sister, who happens to be the co-trustee of the estate alongside the mother, steps into the light. Not only is she the co-trustee, but she also holds the mother's absolute financial power of attorney. Originally, the family conversations were only about managing the house rules. But now, the sister has dropped a massive bomb on the table. She wants all 4 children to sign formal legal documents to completely terminate and dissolve the entire trust. She wants to completely wipe out the father's structure and transfer every single asset, including the house and all the cash, directly into the mother's individual personal name. Her stated reasoning sounds so innocent on the surface. She tells the siblings, hey, don't worry. Everything will eventually come right back to the 4 children when mom passes away anyway. But wait a minute. Let's pause right here and look at the real behavioral patterns. The sister is giving another hidden reason for this emergency move. She admits she simply does not want to deal with the brother potentially living in that house indefinitely after mom passes. She wants to force a liquidation later on, and the father's protective trust is standing in her way. Let's analyze this human behavior through the eyes of ancient logic. The sister is acting exactly like a clever, fast, moving fox trying to dismantle a solid mountain fortress. She is using the brother's housing situation as a giant emotional smokescreen. And here is the absolute biggest, most terrifying red flag in the entire story. The siblings have been asked to sign these termination papers, but they have never, ever been provided with Schedule A. They have never seen an official line-by-line accounting or inventory of the trust's financial assets. The user only recently received the main trust text a whole year after the father died, and they still have zero clues about the exact values of the multiple bank accounts, savings, and annuities tied to the estate. The user only knows that the father had at least one single account containing over $1 million real dollars before he died. This means we are dealing with a massive mountain of wealth, substantially larger than just a regular family home. Asking beneficiaries to sign away a trust blind without showing them Schedule A is madness. This is like a tribal leader asking the hunters to completely abandon their winter meat storage fortress without letting anyone count how many hundreds of supplies are actually locked inside. It is a position of absolute forced darkness. While keeping everyone in the dark, the sister is using her double power as co-trustee and power of attorney to completely drive the narrative. This is a classic masterclass move of a scavenger trying to open the secure gates of the family cave while pretending to clean the floor. Let's pull back the curtain and break down the absolute technical, legal, and financial disasters of dissolving an irrevocable trust. What happens when you move over $1 million real dollars out of a protective trust and place it directly into the individual name of an individual in her late 80s? First, you completely expose that wealth to the catastrophic long-term care trap. If the elderly mother ever requires expensive assisted living, advanced nursing care, or specialized medical facilities later in life, the state of California and private health care corporations will look directly at her personal assets. They will systematically drain every single penny of that individual $1 million and potentially liquidate the house to pay for her long-term medical care. By the time she passes away, your entire family inheritance will be completely wiped out down to absolute zero. Inside the father's irrevocable trust, those millions were completely walled off and legally insulated from those exact predatory long-term care look-backs. If you sign those papers, you are voluntarily burning down the protective wall your father built to keep your children safe. Second, the moment you dissolve that trust, the brother's explicit occupancy rights vanish into thin air. He can be thrown out onto the street immediately because his legal shield has been deleted. Third, look at the absolute corporate trap being set up in the background. The siblings have been told that a brand new, separate estate plan or revocable trust is currently being drafted for the mother. But nothing has been provided for the children to review. The co-trustee's own attorney explicitly admitted a terrifying truth. He told the user that if the mother creates her own new revocable trust, the children will have zero legal right to inspect it or view its terms while she is alive. Do you see the chess move now? Once the $1 million leaves the father's ironclad trust and enters the mother's individual name, the sister can use her financial power of attorney to quietly rewrite the mother's new private trust. She can alter the percentages, change the beneficiary's EU, or allocate the wealth entirely to herself. And the other siblings would have absolutely no legal path to stop it until it is far too late. To make the pressure even worse, the sister slapped down a formal notice of proposed action with a strict legal deadline of August 20. Under California law, if a beneficiary does not submit an official written objection or secure a court order before that exact deadline, the system legally treats them as having fully consented, meaning you lose your right to fight back forever. Og drops his heavy stone club right here and delivers his definitive, hard-hitting judgment. This proposal is a massive, predatory, and incredibly high-risk trap. The sister's excuse about merely wanting to clear up the brother's future housing timeline is an absolute illusion. It is a calculated smokescreen designed to pull $1 million asset pool out of an ironclad fortress and bring it into a vulnerable zone where she wields total power of attorney. I highly commend the user in this story for refusing to blind sign, for slowing down, and for choosing to protect their household and their children's financial future. Signing legal documents in total darkness is like walking face first into a deep, uncharted cave without a torch or a weapon. You are just asking to get mauled by a predator. Thankfully, the story takes a massive, victorious turn. The user did exactly what a smart hunter does. They went out and secured independent counsel. They hired their own independent estate planning attorney to review the paperwork. And the attorney's assessment was absolute. He strongly advised the user not to consent to this ridiculous proposal. He confirmed that the sister's plan is unnecessarily broad, strips away massive legal protections, and offers zero practical benefit to the mother that she doesn't already have under the existing setup. So, what is the final strategic 3-step action plan we can take away from this victory? Step number 1. Fire the written objection immediately. Never miss a ticking clock like the August 20 deadline. Your independent attorney must submit a formal, written legal objection to the court to completely freeze the asset transfer in its tracks. This instantly preserves your rights and stops the scavenger from opening the gates. Step number 2. Force the accounting with absolute power. Demand a full copy of Schedule I and a transparent line-by-line accounting of every single bank account, stock portfolio, and annuity value. You have a strict legal right to know exactly what numbers are sitting in that cave. Step number 3, hunt exclusively with independent counsel. Never ever take financial or legal advice from the co-trustee's attorney. Their job is to look out for the person trying to dismantle the trust, not you. As the independent attorney pointed out, if there is a legitimate concern about the brother living in the house forever, that specific issue can be handled with a very narrow, tightly drafted local settlement. You do not need to burn down the entire $1 million trust fortress just to fix a single door on the house. Always slow down, protect your family's assets, and rely strictly on independent legal facts, never on future family promises. If Og helped you spot the scavengers trying to raid the family cave today, hit that subscribe button and join the tribe at Caveman Capital. We hunt for true financial freedom, one real dollar at a time. Go protect your stack. Remember, in the wild jungle of modern finance, you are either the hunter or you are the hunted. Choose wisely.